I think it's about the human story that we love. At Cooper Investors, we have an investment philosophy, the key tenets of which is three components, and that's value latency, operating trends and industry strategic positioning, and then focus management. And for the Asian companies we look at, focus management come front and center. If we do not have confidence in this focus management, their expertise, their passion, we do not touch the company. The atmosphere and the culture we're looking for is when we go in and sit across the table from the founders, they basically just start talking about the story of how they started the business, how they run it, how they, I love to think of them as eat, sleep, drink, thinking about a product, thinking about how to connect to the consumers on a very human level. And those are the kind of passion and drive that we love to see. When you look at the adaptability of these companies, the competitive landscape changed so much in China. You really need a very strong founder that spot these trends from a mile away, that adapt the organizations very quickly, and then capture the next wave of the consumers. If you're waiting for a bureaucracy to sit around the boardroom and then for a 12-person board to make the decision and then eventually drive down the organizational change, that opportunity probably no longer exists. So I would say it's probably still at an earlier point of development where a strong founder really make the big difference. So one of the companies is a top pharmaceutical company in China. When this wave of regulation happened and basically the low-end common generics drugs have to be cut prices by 90%. So I went to see him and I say, how are you going to turn around your company? And he said, I've done that over the past 4 years. He basically said, I traveled to India, I traveled to Korea, I traveled to the US, and I realized that generic drug prices in China were unsustainably high. So before the regulator even come down and asked me to cut my drug prices, I have basically pivoted the entire organization resources into R&D and developing real domestically developed drugs. So he completely stayed calm and he said, this is my cash cow generics portfolio. If that prices get cut and that cash go down a little bit, that's totally fine because my innovative drugs is basically 5 years ahead of everybody else. And then you really need a founder to travel, to collect these insights and then make the big organizational pivot.